coming here, and this is something that Jim and I talked about doing. We thought it was a terrific idea. Sometimes art's very intimidating to people, and we thought we would try to dispel that rumor that you can buy original art and that you don't have to have $1 million, and hear from the people that make it and hear from the people that collect it and how they did it. And Jim was gracious enough to host this, and here's Jim Woodfield. We're so lucky to have someone like him in the community.
Thank you so much for coming to this, and I hope that we don't disappoint. I hope that we have good information for you and that you leave here with at least a little bit more knowledge than you had when you came in. Having the studio space helped because I learned from a lot of artists how difficult it was to find someone who will show their work, to find an outlet where they can actually sell their work.
Start with you, Lance.
I'm Lance Rodgers, painter of darkness. And I've been bumping around at this for quite some time. So anyway, if you don't know me, you should. And if you do, don't hold it against me.
And the more you know about the body of knowledge around the arts, the more informed your decisions about collecting are going to be. It's fun to learn about art. And as Lance said earlier, talk to artists, go to art shows, ask them about their work, go to museums, read exhibition catalogs. It can become a passion, and it can become very important in your life. Once I traded a 1975 Volkswagen bus for a sculpture by William King. And that piece is going, when I buy the farm, is going to the Museum of Fine Arts. I have already made a bequest to them because they want the piece. So it actually came from a Volkswagen bus, and now it turns out to be quite valuable. So you can trade for art as well, so that's my point. My second museum, I bought a piece and I had to add a room on my house. And when you do that, you know it's excessive.
Over 100 portraits. I eventually had other artists join me who also felt the need to heal through our artwork, some of whom are in the audience tonight. And though I wasn't monetarily rewarded for it, I can't tell you what a gratifying experience it was, and how during a time of isolation I connected with people I would have never, ever met or known. Our whole approach at the museum for these tours is to ask them questions. And when they answer, ask them, why did you say that? And just make them really, really think about what they're looking at.
So I'm looking at Da Vinci's The Last Supper, the painting, The Last Supper. And I came up with this crazy idea, wouldn't it be amazing with the same concept, a big dining room table, and everybody sitting around that dining room table would be artists that lived on the left bank.
But I have to say that parents and adults generally sell kids short as far as what they can take in and what they can appreciate when it comes to visual arts. So much of it is just a stimulus that just has to be presented to them. And they're denied it so much. And I've been out of teaching since 2004 or 5. But now my teaching experience has been with adults and doing workshops, and that's more hands-on.
I think it's so important. Some of you, or a lot of you here, have children, and you try to expose them to everything you can that will be good for them. That will help them broaden their horizons and become more informed. When my boy was growing up, my wife and I would take him to museums. Everywhere we went, we would go to museums. And then when we'd leave the museum, I would quiz him about what he saw. Well, that didn't sit very well. So one day he was going with his classmates to a science museum in Orlando. And I said, no, that's right next to the art museum. He said, Dad, this is a fun trip. But now he's an architect.